I want to talk for a few minutes about the lake. Very important scenes in the show. You're using child actors in these scenes sometimes. And I heard when reading up on this before this interview that you were dealing with some pretty intense weather issues and temperature issues filming this lake. So talk to me about the challenges.
So we built a lake in Vancouver, and the show ran into the winter time. So you can just imagine the weather here. And I mean, it actually snows, and there's times we showed up on set, there was 3 feet of snow on set, and it was supposed to take place in spring. One of the biggest issues with that is the lake has to be heated to a certain degree per SAG rules. And that's not only for the child actors, it's for all the actors, including the stunt people. And inevitably you have cold air and hot water, and you basically have steam. So sometimes the steam was all encompassing, and it was a little bit of a problem. When I got involved, they had only shot the lake a little bit. My solution was to bring in a bunch of fans and blow the steam away, and then roll as fast as we could until the steam kind of came back and engulfed us all. And at first it was a little bit daunting for me personally. Then I started to kind of embrace it, started to add more atmosphere in the surrounding woods and surrounding area just to kind of blend it all together, so it didn't feel like they were just in a jacuzzi in the middle of the winter there. And it seemed to actually, in my mind, lend a nice texture and a nice quality to that kind of gave it maybe a more spooky vibe, a more isolated feeling. And I quite enjoyed embracing it eventually. At first I was definitely daunted. And we had times when there was ice on the camera, and, you know, these stunt people in the water and the actors in the water. And they were all amazing. And it was the middle of the night. But everybody was really amazing to work with, and the attitude stayed good. And, you know, I think morale is a really important aspect to filmmaking. And as a department head, I try to keep the morale up. And it's tough when it's 3:00 in the morning and everything's frozen and everybody just wants to go home. and then I turn fans on. Now I'm blowing cold air on everyone's faces, and, you know, everyone's screaming over the fans. And then we, you know, roll and then cut the fans and then do the scene. And but I think all in all, visually it worked. Sometimes the process can be a little frustrating or a little bit painful, to say the least.
Well, who doesn't want like a nice creepy mist over a scary, creepy lake? Like, that's perfect. That's like exactly what you would want for something like this. I'm actually surprised it was that much of a burden. I would think like, nice, like this is exactly what I wanted. That kind of creepy steam.
Well, it got to a point when you actually couldn't see your hand or see the actor, you know. So it was a little bit, yeah. And then there's continuity issues and things like that too. So it was definitely something we continued to track and find workarounds and then eventually embrace it and augment it. And I think in the arc of the story, it kind of works as I personally got more of a handle on how to deal with it. I had more fun with it and less trepidation.
Absolutely. I guess, you know, another unsung hero is probably the people that are fanning that atmosphere and making it perfect and balanced. Like we talked about the dolly grips being the unsung heroes. Those people that make atmosphere work and consistent in work with continuity, that is so hard to do. Like controlling smoke and steam. Are you kidding me? It's impossible.
And we use ground fog a lot too, which is using tubes. They call it the tube of death, and it's dry ice with smoke so that it's heavy and it lays down. So it's like ground fog. And, you know, you get a good special effects team and they're amazing because they're tracking it, they're watching it. I can't always watch everything. And a lot of times it's like, gotta roll. And one of the things I didn't assess at the moment was, what's our smoke levels? And so somebody who's really on it is just completely invaluable. And they love it too. It's making their mark on the film. And it's really indicative of how much of a team sport filmmaking really is.